Good afternoon. Welcome to this year's edition of the Asbury Project's Pitch Competition. This is our fourth year running the event, and based on the presentations we've heard thus far, this is our best year ever. But hold on to your hats. Actually, you shouldn't be wearing hats. You're inside the chapel. Hold on to your seats. This is going to be our best pitch competition ever. Now, because the students have worked so hard and elevated the quality of their pitches, I need to make sure that the audience is keeping pace with the quality of our presenters. So at the end of a presentation, what sort of sound does a good audience make? Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. All right, so y'all are good for last year's presentation, but this year is better. I want to hear what a great audience sounds like. Okay, that's good. Now, don't wear yourself out. I need you to do that 11 times, but you can only do it for 20 seconds long. At the end of a presentation, when you see this black slide go up that says the Asbury Project on it, you can start applauding wildly, but we only have a 20-second break between each presentation, so we can move this along quickly. At the end of the sixth presentation, we'll take a brief 10-minute break, so you can run out to the restroom, but then come right back in, because we will start back up on time, so that we can finish here and get to dinner. And of course, the highlight of our dinner is we get to hear again from Emily Moon, in case you missed her during the profile of a social entrepreneur. So, without any further ado, we will get started with this year's edition of the Asbury Project.
Well, hey everyone, how are y'all doing today? Good? Awesome. Well, my name is Austin Blevins, and I'm representing my team of Allie, Will, Dom, and Emmy. Together, we are collectively pitching a virtual reality company known as Verit. So I got a quick question for y'all. Do y'all remember your first day on the job? Oh yeah, first day on the job. You're getting ready, you wake up early, you're super excited. You get to work on time, but then you start to realize as the day continually progresses, you go, I have no idea what I'm doing. So that's where we all have to ask that dreaded question to our boss. You all know it. What am I doing again? Yeah, I'm sure a few of us have had a few rough first days on the job. I know I have. It's no fun being absolutely helpless to all those around you. When you haven't had proper on-the-job training, everyone suffers. If you're with an employee, worst case scenario, they're gone. But that's where our company, Verit, that's what they're here to fix. See our little ferret. Verit stands for Virtual Employee Readiness Integrated Technology. It's a virtual reality software training program that provides reality training to new employees. Verit allows people to be better equipped for their job, better than ever before, with consistency, eliminating human error and bias. So here's how it works. You put on your virtual reality goggles and the simulation begins. Here you have what's known as a dialogue tree, where options are shown, and depending on which option you pick, changes the simulation completely. But in reality, what does this and all this mean for you and your company? Well, it's added experience. They get to learn by doing and improve their skills in a safe, non-destructive environment. Trainers get to track their progress in this better than ever before. Does anyone actually know what it costs to hire one of these employees? So what you'll be able to see up on the screen in just a second is the bare minimum. Now this is $8 an hour. Imagine if you're in a big company and you're making a big salary, if you're a bad employee, you could cost your company up to $500,000 plus 18 months worth of just dead time. When it comes to all of this, it's what the majority of the training at the beginning is what comes from all this. Studies show that if an employee is much more likely to stay if they get the right training at the beginning. Through all of this, they get to understand what it actually means to be a part of the company completely. And we are here to better prepare your employee better than ever before. This product has many focuses, and we're going to focus our attention on medium to large companies that are growing, whether it be nationwide, statewide, or even global at this point. It's estimated that about 800,000 franchises alone are in the United States. So as you can see, there's a lot of market opportunity here. Let's take, for example, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is so customer service oriented. Through all of this, Vera would be able to reduce the amount of employees that leave and the amount of training that comes into it. Imagine how many chicken sandwiches you could buy with how much money these companies are saving. Our product, it's helpful. It's cost-effective. It enables employees to be better prepared, better than ever before, and it gives consistency. I know I've talked so much about the employees already, but it's not just a focus on the employees. We have it for trainers. We focus on trainers who care and pour out into their employees. These trainers are going to focus on Verit. These are the people who really want to change how their employees work. We'll be able to focus on personalized client software and attention to account management. With this, we can care for each and every employee. Our startup cost is going to be about $50,000. This gives Verit just enough to get up off the ground and helping others as quickly as possible. What we're able to do with this $50,000 is able to take it and use it for everything that we need. Though we'll have a startup initial price for all of our customers and then $800 a month for service. So to break even, we'll only need about 2 clients in 2 years. As I mentioned previously, with this, we'll be able to just focus on each and every one of our clients with the personalized client software that each of them need. No matter what kind of company they're in, we need to show them care because they are still people. We'll be able to provide this account better than ever. So that's $50,000. What this allows us to do is app development, marketing, legal fees, overhead costs, emergency funds, and this will make our company viable in the long run. We'll be able to focus on Kickstarter, crowdfundings, business plan competitions, and you guys, the investors, as well. But when it comes to business, I think we as a society sometimes have unintentionally found some of our worth in our jobs. And I mean, I'm sure I'm not one to just point the finger. I'm probably one of those too. But for our company, Verit, what we also seek to do is help people find their worth in themselves, because we are still made in the image of God. And through this, we are able to show our foundation, where we come from. We build off of 4 pillars. That is honesty, integrity, sincerity, and community. I'm not up here just saying these words. We try to live these out in our day-to-day lives while giving God the glory in all that we do. We want to show this to everyone that we meet. What we are trying to focus on is missionary prep as well. We'll have set up programs that give Christians a good foundation to work with and understand the culture that they're going into so much better. Now, I'm not saying our product is going to help you answer God's call for your life. We're not miracle workers, but I will say that we're able to help you and prepare you better for missionary preparation. So if you are in the missions field, we'll have programs that set up the availability to be better prepared in the culture that you're about to go into and immerse yourself so that you know when God gives you the call, you'll be so much better prepared when you go into it. I'll conclude with this. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in times of comfort, convenience, but challenge and controversy." It's where you stand in challenging times and who you stand with that make the difference. Verit is all about better training, better service, and better people. Thank you guys so much for listening.
My name is Patrick Barnett, and In Repair solves the issue of homeowners buying a new home or possibly moving in with a roommate after college, and they find this place that's in their budget and close to where they want to work and where they want to live, but they have all these issues with the apartment, like the house, the sink leaks, or there's a leak in the roof, or the front door's about to fall off. So oftentimes, what someone ends up being able to afford looks something like this, and they think, well, I'm a college-educated, middle-class individual. I could probably figure out how to do it. But oftentimes they end up expecting the house to look brand new like this, which is just almost impossible, basically, without extreme amounts of money and almost professional contractor experience. So they in the hope that they will turn their fixer-upper into a house like this, they also often end up in over their heads and with their current home turning into a disaster zone and have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to hire a professional to fix it. So you're probably wondering, well, there are organizations like SOS that exist in Memphis, Tennessee, that host summer camps during the summer that, through high school volunteers, will work on homes like this homeowner who have had leaky roofs and no insulation and are basically living in poverty or just over the poverty line. Yes, organizations like that exist, but In Repair exists to prevent stuff like this from happening. Not to put SOS out of business, but just to help common homeowners. As you can probably tell, this is a toilet tank, and a few weeks ago, over fall break when I was at home, my toilet actually broke. So that black part on the left was broken, and so it just kept running on and on and on, and that was annoying. So I went and found an extra one we had in the drawer and went and replaced it. But if I didn't have the skills and confidence to take that project on, I would have had to hire a plumber like this, waited probably a week to 10 days for him to get there, and then paid $100 or $200 for what was about a 10-minute fix. So whether you are confident in your ability or not, or you have tools or not, In Repair can solve that issue. So In Repair is an intersection between tool ownership, hands-on practice, and online tutorials. There's innumerable tutorials on YouTube that teach you how to fix a shower head, or how to put in an outlet, or how to fix your dryer. Isn't that right, Dr. Gill? He's asleep. So whether you have a basic toolkit like this that you could get from Walmart or Amazon or something like that, or if you have tools that any professional woodworker would love to have, like in the next picture, that are easily total up to several $1,000s in tools, you can use the skills you've been given and take on projects that normally you might think are outside of your skill set. Because although there are tutorials online like YouTube or from the Home Depot, they are often not very helpful. So in 1969, Philip Zimbardo from Stanford, a psychologist, developed this theory called the broken window theory. So he took two cars and parked them in very different neighborhoods, one in downtown New York, one in an affluent neighborhood nearby. Within minutes, the one in the downtown impoverished neighborhood was beaten to pieces. The other stayed relatively untouched for weeks at a time. The same concept is true with homes. So if a home on a street looks like this on the inside, that's going to be prevalent to drug use and prostitution and any other kind of illegal activities. But if you can use the words from our friend from the Water Boy, you can do it, and you can solve the issues in your house before they become way too expensive and overwhelming to fix. And once you begin to work on your house and your neighbors see that and they do the same, it'll transform neighborhood by neighborhood, house by house, city by city. Startup costs for In Repair are right at $1,000 just for the tools. So combination of hand tools and power tools that are necessary for most, probably all home repair projects are right at $1,000. Wrenches, hammers, screwdrivers, saws, drills, that kind of thing. So where there should have been words, the total cost for startup costs, including tools and utilities and a location, are right at $7,500. So this afternoon, I'm seeking $3,000 to cover all of that and to purchase materials and employment. So this picture looks just like this table. Our expansion plan for In Repair is to begin offer instructions on basic furniture construction, like coffee tables and headboards that don't require incredible amounts of skill or really expensive tools to accomplish, because there is a growing market for custom furniture and personalized decoration and things like that, and even multifunctional furniture like this ottoman that actually opens up to store about 45 pairs of shoes that I made my girlfriend last year. sure everyone in the room can understand that girls have lots of shoes. And to purchase one of these is several $100s. It doesn't come in many varieties, but we were able to pick the padding and the pattern or fabric pattern that she liked. We also aim to expand into corporate partnerships with organizations like DeWalt that will come alongside of us and work to travel to underdeveloped and impoverished neighborhoods like in Memphis or New York or Boston that will allow us to teach these homeowners who have had this home for years basic skills that they otherwise couldn't learn how to do. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Zachary Moring. I present to you my business with the working title Right Fit. It will be a professional clothing attire company. It will be focused on women's professional attire, seeking to redesign what already exists. I've been listening time and again to friends, family, colleagues, and just general women I meet in my life. And I hear the same thing over and over again, how stressed out they are, how much they have to pay for the expenses of clothing that just doesn't fit. Trying to find something that's professional, that's not looking like a man, but it's not too frumpy or old-looking, and just overall something that really fits their personality. This is making them angry and upset to go shopping. This is affecting their daily lives, their self-consciousness, their self-esteem, especially as women aren't finding that they're fitting the average standards of the fashion industry. And what does that even mean to many, they ask? This is then overflowing into personal relationships, self-concept, self-esteem at work. Men have no idea that this is going on, so when you argue about expenses and shopping, men just don't get it. But men, it affects us too. This is something that's not just for women. We need to be listening, because this affects all parts of their lives, being conscious of what you're wearing at work when you don't have to be. We really need to start bringing about stability so that women can focus on what they're called to be able to concentrate on their callings and their professions without having to worry about what they're wearing and how it's making them look. The standard industry that exists has been modeling business attire, which is modeled after menswear, for centuries, almost. After men's suits and men's designs. I've been hearing from women how boxy suits are, that they're really just kind of slim fit cuts of men's designs, and they want something more. So why am I here, and why do I care? Well, I've been hearing this time and again, and I am someone who benefits from this system. I am a man who has seen this worked in the clothing industry, and I want to make a change to honor our mothers, sisters, wives, and friends. I want to see them to be able to have the power suits that makes them feel as God has called them to be and assert themselves. We have what's called vanity sizing in the industry today, that a size 12 could be a size 14, that could be a size 8 with the same brand, different brand. You don't have pants links, you have no idea what cut it is, you don't know where it's really coming from. I keep hearing that it's too boxy and that it's just lesser quality. I want to change that and present a company that will be making made-to-measure clothing, taking into consideration the proportions of women's bodies, from what plus size to petite size, and redefine those standards as being normal average size for women, to redesign around a woman's body and her fit, not industry standards that we're trying to force, to redesign for even dress suits that are the same quality as men's garments, or redesign to make for bust or waist or hips, whatever your portionments will be, to really fit your standards, not the industry standards, to expand to providing pants that have workable pockets with single pleats, standard lengths, redesigned skirts and dresses, ones that have hips and waists that taper in and taper out, even to go as far as with shirts, shoes, socks, the whole kit and caboodle, so that way you will have what you need to redesign your own wardrobe. This will provide foundational standards that we as men, we have charcoals, navies, Cambridge grays. We can pair versatility out the end and back. But women don't have that. We want to bring some stability to women's lives, bring a foundation to their whole focus of being. The market size for this, according to IBIS, they are an analysis company, for just plus size alone in America is $17.5 billion that is being untapped by the majority of the industry. It is expected to grow. This is affecting not just one region in the United States, one ethnic population. It is in every state, everywhere, even outside of America, Canada, United States, and beyond. This is something that is a global issue and affects women everywhere of all sizes, of all professions. There are some companies already providing some options, mind you, and some made to measure for women in professional status and positions. Companies like J. Crew and Banana Republic for young professionals with some standard blazers, standard cuts that women are able to find at a lower price, or companies like Brooks Brothers, who have been in the industry for decades and are making made-to-measure suits for women. But what they don't have is they're still providing the same industry standards. They're not staking their claim in helping women as they map out their lives, their careers, their callings, to really give them the equipment that they need. The industry standards are not providing them with the compass that they may assert themselves, that they may go further and higher than they have been allowed. The cost for this will start with having to hire tailors, and labor costs starting from $12 to $16 an hour is the industry standard for many tailors. Equipment costs will need about $200 to start our own machine, sewing machine. And I also have friends who would be willing to model this, so that'll be brought into the cost with them. For the quality that I want to be able to provide, the same as industry standards for men that women just are not having. It will cost about $50 to $250, depending on the quality, the canvas, and also who it is that's distributing it and the mill maker of the fabric. And I want to be established first in North Carolina, my home state, in the city of Raleigh. This is a very growing industry. It has multiple colleges from Merit to NC State. It has multiple industries from fashion, textiles, medicine, with a lot of potential. I want to have about $200 dedicated to the business startup license there, and about $1,600 for accounting. For this will be a team effort. I'm not doing this on my own. And I'll be bringing alongside women and men to be a part of this process, designers, manufacturers, market analysts, for together we can make a difference.
My name is Megan Giske, and my partner is Robin Garricky. Our nonprofit is called Adala. Adala means justice in Arabic. Adala is a Moroccan business, a kingdom business, and a lifestyle business. Adala empowers Moroccan women and lifts them out of poverty through beautifully made, traditionally woven rugs. This is a product that will become an heirloom in the family. 100-year-old Moroccan rugs are just as functional and beautiful today as they were 100 years ago. Because they are hand-dyed and woven with hand-spun wool, these rugs are among the finest in the world. And all the background photos come from our artists and weavers in Morocco.
Because of the number of unemployed men in Morocco, these artists and weavers are often the primary source of income for their families. Weavers in Morocco work for either middlemen or co-ops, where they either wait 2 to 5 years to get paid for their work from a co-op, or a middleman takes 80% of the profit. They are often exploited, working in poor conditions, and never see anything in return. This is the problem that we are addressing. Women are being underrepresented and taken advantage of by co-ops and middlemen. Many of these girls are school age and work without any kind of stability or security, leaving them extremely vulnerable to exploitation. And we believe that by bringing them financial independence, we will empower them. Current research indicates the future of African communities depends on the education and empowerment of women. If women were supported in gaining financial opportunities, issues such as poverty and gender-biased employment opportunities would become a thing of the past, and women will be empowered to lead their communities.
We are using business as a lever to lift women out of poverty. We will change the state of women in Morocco and empower them through business and access to the market. With Adala, our partners know that they are no longer limited because of where they are from. We believe fair trade should be sustainable and give local communities the opportunity to empower themselves. Our success is not just measured by profit. Our success is also measured by empowerment. Adala's mission is to invest in communities, not just alleviating the effects of poverty, but addressing the conditions that cause them. Because they are popular among designers, we know the biggest demand is for a revival of traditional Moroccan rugs. Our artists and weavers are taking the oldest designs. Some of them are hundreds of years old, and we're working with painters and interior designers to add new colors and color palettes to the designs. In Morocco, color is everything, and this is an example of one of those rugs.
Because similar rugs of lower quality brought in by middlemen are popular with interior designers, we know that the market demand for these rugs is high. Due to this limited supply, it supports a price point for $2,000 a rug with the dimensions of 10 feet by 12 feet. There's not a lot of competition for these beautifully made traditional works of art. Finding larger rugs in Morocco is rare. Less than 10 weavers make rugs this size, and only 1 to 2 make any that are of high quality. Demand for these large rugs is high, with these rugs selling for up to $2,000 each. Adala pays a fair price and empowers artists and weavers to work in our market. We estimate our cost to be $1,000 per rug, with a price point of $2,000, which means we have a healthy margin that allows us to treat the women fairly and continue on to a sustainable business. We will still make a profit while making sure the women who make these rugs receive 50% above market rate. Our target market is middle-income households interested or aware of fair trade goods, because research shows that they are the most interested in these fair trade products. We estimate that to be 10 to 15% of the 62 million middle-income households in America. That means 6 to 8 million households are interested in these beautifully made traditional works of art. Preliminary research has shown that Manhattan and LA are socially conscious cities that also buy furniture as art, and so they are our primary targets we want to address in our first year. Production in our first year, we plan to sell 200 rugs in these areas, and to reach them, we will establish a presence in the Manhattan area first.
We know that media is our best resource, so we have developed a media plan that's necessary for this to be successful. We already have an agreement to write an article about our mission for a website called one.org to their 1 million followers. Our focus will be telling the story of the women who make the rugs. We want everyone who looks at the rugs to be able to see a picture of the woman who made it and know her story. In our first year, we're anticipating 200 rugs to be sold. What happens in the next year for Adala is we're partnering with a painter in Morocco to design modern traditional rugs named Justin Varel. After talking to other sellers, we estimate our profits in the first year to be about $200,000. And we are excited to announce that we have employed 30 artisans to make beautifully made, traditionally woven works of art. So far, our artisan weavers have already created 75 rugs. We have also partnered with retailers, Design Junkie, Atelier, Asala Living, and designers Three Interiors and Berberology. We know that we have the ability to impact lives by hiring locals like a master weaver who will work with the women and instruct them throughout the week, and supporting the needs of the women and their children. We're making sure this remains a business tied to Morocco. We know if we do this, everyone in 100 miles will want to work with us. We are sharing the love of Christ through real-world service and empowerment. By educating the women, we know that we are also educating their children and investing in their community. All weavers work for us in their own home, where they can be taking care of their families and work on a contract that provides them with all the materials they need, including a loom if they don't have one already. As much as this is a Moroccan business and a kingdom business, this is a lifestyle business. We love to travel, and we are invested in the social aspect. We love these weavers. We love what we have been doing. It impacts our lives, and it will impact the lives of others. Adala is a lifestyle business, a kingdom business, and a Moroccan business. And Adala means not only justice, but empowerment. Adala is empowering women and lifting women out of poverty through beautifully made, traditionally woven rugs. Thank you.
We've got a problem. The Wilmore economy is failing. With job loss clocking in at 2 to 3%, the amount of new successful small businesses in Wilmore hitting an all-time low, and the lack of communication between existing businesses, there exists a great amount of potential for the future of this economy. I experienced this firsthand when I moved my business, Digital Now, to Wilmore back in January. There was a great amount of angst and just a lot of, experiences that I was having in my home office of lack of productivity. And so I decided I was going to go down to Solomon's porch. And I also noticed there was a great amount of distraction there. And so I looked around and I saw in the small town some spaces that were available. Neither of them were both quality and affordable in Wilmore. And so I started looking at co-working spaces, and none of those were very good either, or they were 30 minutes away. And so I have been lacking this community of collaboration with fellow brothers and sisters who are Christian entrepreneurs who could come alongside me, inspire me, lead me to innovation, and ultimately help me grow in the Lord.
So this problem Tyler's described can be solved with Wilmore being the catalyst for change in that. The suggested solution for that is the Foundry Network, the nonprofit co-working space that we're starting. The Foundry will have desks that entrepreneurs work at. They'll have a shared space where they can innovate, share ideas, learn from each other, and get their work done without having to work from their own home or a public place where they can't be productive. So entrepreneurs will pay a monthly membership fee to have a desk in the Foundry. They'll be able to work with the entrepreneurs around them, all of the young small businesses here, and they'll work together, they'll learn new skills, they'll share ideas, and they'll be able to collaborate with everybody around them in a safe space where they can share their faith and their business.
And so as we've laid the foundation for this organization, as you may know, the news in Wilmore tends to travel pretty fast. And so I've had the great opportunity to sit down with entrepreneurs from both the university and the seminary who have a great interest in the entrepreneurial spirit and also Christian discipleship. And so my business, Digital Now IT, we do web development, we do social media management, we also do video production, those kind of things. We have established a space for coworkers who are white collar, and that has been a space over at Wilmore United Methodist Church. But we've also met folks like William O'Neill, who has a woodworking business, O'Neill's Woodworking, and he builds custom furniture. And so William's heart and his vision as CEO or COO and also vice president was to create a space also for blue-collar folks. So we also have a workshop on Clear Creek Road near Nicholasville, and we have several members, or a few members also, who are taking advantage of that space. And then lastly, but not least, we have Kendall McKee, who serves as our general manager and our CFO. Kendall's business was literally incubated in the Foundry. And so as a community began to gather, we began to throw out ideas to Kendall. He began to pray through it. We began to kind of mentor him through this whole venture. And what came of it was what you see up here, My Phone Broke, which is the only local iPhone repair business in Jessamine County. And so collectively, from iPhones to digital marketing, we have one of the most diverse arrays of experienced folks, but also folks who are willing to mentor and help Christian entrepreneurs reach their full potential.
So including some of those members that Tyler just mentioned, we have 6 full-time members that are paying and ready to grow with the Foundry. And we have a growing number of associate members like myself. Through that complex demographic of different companies and different businesses, we'll be able to have those businesses mentor each other, walk each other through their business and their faith. Here you'll see a break-even analysis for the Foundry. It shows our fixed costs, our variable costs, and our overall revenue, and it shows we'll break even at around $8,500, $8,000 in a year. Our high fixed costs are due to the need for renovations and supplies to make this space better for the entrepreneurs. And so the Foundry really just wants to intertwine discipleship and business in the space so that entrepreneurs can grow in a multifaceted way through their work and through their faith with the people around them. In Wilmore, these entrepreneurs and small business owners don't really have anywhere to work, and so this is a place where we really want people to be able to share their faith, but also share their business and grow in that. And so we're going to have, to do that, we're going to have a future spiritual mentor program that will match entrepreneurs with mentors, not just for spirituality, but also their business, so they can be walked through both sides of that and grow as a person and as a business throughout their time in this space with the Foundry. So our opportunity is really unique as the Foundry. It's a new area, it's a new market that doesn't have any space to work. We don't have any areas for the small businesses that are already present or the entrepreneurs from the seminary and the university to work on their businesses. And it's an effective model that we've seen work with co-working spaces in Lexington already, but those are secular and not in this context. So here you can see our expenses for the next coming years. They're pretty high. We have some revenue coming in from the companies we already have working with us in the Foundry, but most of our funding right now is going towards renovation, technology, supplies, things like that that'll make the Foundry better for all of the entrepreneurs coming in and the new students from the university and seminary.
Speaking of students from the university and the seminary, we as an organization, our goal is to build on what the Asbury Project has established. And so we see our organization as a bridge building movement that brings together entrepreneurial spirit among university undergraduate students and also graduate and PhD students. Currently, we're looking at our different milestones. We've already acquired our space, which, as I said before, is in Wilmore United Methodist Church right down the street from this location. We've already opened up to early adopters. And now we're looking at the potential of getting these renovations completed by February of 2018 to get the space looking really good so that we can make room for even more entrepreneurs. And so as you can see, we have such a great amount of encouragement and support behind this idea. We have Mayor Rainwater, who's spoken in favor of it, and also Dee Merricks, the host pastor of our location. And we invite you now to come alongside us and join in this movement called the Foundry Network. Thank you so much.
Ethan Garrett Photography is a wedding photography service, an LLC providing services in the Lexington area. Now for me to tell you a little bit about why this is a quality and viable business, I have to tell you a little bit about my personal experience first. So I bought my first camera about 4 years ago, and I've been practicing professional photography for over 3 years now. I started in portraits and lots of senior sessions, things like that, but after shooting a couple weddings, I quickly fell in love with the excitement of it all and what the day holds. To this day, I've shot about 15 weddings, and each one has been an incredible learning experience. It's allowed me to learn what brides want, what I want, and how we can reconcile both of those together to provide the absolute best product. Now, my packages offer a lot: consultation settings and engagement shoot, 6 hours of coverage by yours truly, edited photos, an online gallery for 2 months, a 20-spread album picked out by the clients themselves, and last but not least, a print release. So I do a lot beyond just providing simple images for my clients. Every client that comes to me has a couple things on their mind. They're stressed, they're worried about looking awkward in front of the camera, but they still want beautiful images, and so I'm able to provide on all of those fronts. I start by dealing with stress with consultation sessions, where we meet in front of a warm, inviting beverage like coffee, or if people don't like coffee, we go hot chocolate, something like that. And during that time, I'm able to assure them with my experience and enable to relieve their stress, and at the same time, I'm able to gain valuable information that allows me to personalize their photos and learn how to get the most out of them. Now, to deal with the awkward worries, I do that in the engagement shoot. And I've always really disliked posing and putting people in places, so I take advantage of vague kind of descriptions to push people to bring out their own personalities rather than putting them in one spot. And this results in a lot of fun photos. I've always loved being able to provide fun for my clients and not putting them in a box. It's a lot of fun. So when it comes to social impact of my business, there's a couple different ways that I'm able to impact the community. First off, I'm able to meet new couples and soon-to-be families on a regular basis, and I'm able to get to know them quicker and deeper than most people would in as short of a time as I have with them. And that enables me to have different conversations with them and it's also during one of the most important moments of their lives. Additionally, since I don't have any employees, I'm able to hire freelancers from time to time, and that gives me the opportunity to mentor up young, aspiring professionals and guide them into the industry themselves. Now, with marketing and growth, last year, or this year currently, still 2017, I shot about 5 weddings. And a year ago today, I only had 1 contract. Today, I have 3 contracts, which projects me at approximately 15 weddings for this coming 2018 year. Up until this point in time, all of my marketing has just been word of mouth, but I recognize that as I grow, that will only go so far. So in the next 2 big engagement seasons of Christmas and Valentine's Day, I will be heavily investing in Facebook and Instagram ads and my presence there. Now, I'm starting in the Lexington area and hopefully staying within that for a number of different reasons. First off, it's geographically close to me, so that helps. I have a number of past customers in that area, which helps with my word-of-mouth marketing. But the biggest thing is it's actually a rather undersaturated market. When I did a decent amount of research, I was only able to find about 5 photographers that exclusively practice wedding photography. And though there are dozens of other photographers in the area, their lack of specialization lowers their value of product and the demand for them within that specific area. So that obviously benefits me. Additionally, Lexington has a much higher per capita income than the rest of the state, which makes it an ideal place for marketing much more specialized products like what I offer. There's also about 2,000 weddings that happen every day in the Fayette County area, which means there's plenty of wealth to be spread around. Now, all this is great, but it doesn't really mean much if I can't make money off of it, right? After all, this is business. It's not a competition to see who can have the most engaged or married friends while you're still single. So my contracts start at about $2,000, and they range up to $2,500. And my biggest issue with that is I have between $500 and $700 in costs per contract. So I was looking through and trying to figure out how I could cut costs, and I figured out the quickest way for me to do that is to buy all of my gear outright and eliminate rentals. Now that's going to cost me about $6,000 this coming year, but those are one-time purchases, and that'll boost my income per contract by about $300. So it'll only take about 20 contracts to pay itself off. That'll lower my income this coming year, but in the following years, it'll raise it dramatically. I also have about $1,000 in software costs, and that's overhead, very simple. So in a couple seconds here, you'll see just kind of my raw projections for 2018. And in the future, I expect, obviously, continued growth and hopefully more 25 contracts or more. Here's the basic projection. And as I grow, I am hoping to add additional printing services and potentially video packages as I grow and be able to expand. So I want to thank you all for your time and let your engaged friends know that I'm in the business. Thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kunal Onkar, and I am the founder and proprietor of Soundle Recording Studios, Mumbai, India. I began my career as a financial auditor in the corporate sector, but since I was expected to overlook and compromise on certain issues in the workplace, I decided to leave my job and decided to start my own business where I could make my own rules based upon the principles of God's Word. Soundle is an audio and music production company where we record, compose, arrange, mix, and master, and do with anything that has to do with sound. We work with singers, songwriters, video producers, and documentaries for background audio and music. We create jingles, audio tracks, and soundtracks for producers, as well as produce audiobooks. Music is a precious gift of God and designed to uplift the spirit and inspire the mind. We firmly believe and live by the verse from Colossians chapter 3, verse 16, which clearly instructs us to teach, admonish our brothers and sisters through spiritual hymns and songs, and this is what we do best at Soundle Studios. Sadly, with a high level of illiteracy in India and with more than 1,000 languages spoken in a vast nation, it is a Herculean task to share the gospel. There are a few theological resources and biblical teachings that are available to these people that they can understand. Other issues that bother us are affordability versus quality and time consumption if a new single has to be created. At Soundal Studios, we cater to those specific needs. Part of our ministry initiative is to strive to deliver digital and auditory learning experiences for the millions longing to hear about Jesus, our Lord. As compared to our competitors, we specialize in composing and making quality music at affordable rates. We have heard many testimonies from our clients that their songs have been instrumental in drawing non-Christians into the saving grace of Jesus. We have also had the opportunity to partner with Christian audio companies sharing the Word of God in different regional languages in all parts of India. We boast of being an example to our competitors and other businesses of being an ethically run, honest business. Soundal Studios have been instrumental in giving platform to budding artists and young Christians who have the gift of evangelizing through music. We have heard many testimonies from our customers and that their songs have been influential in drawing non-Christians into the saving grace of Jesus Christ. 3 of our songs from our clients have crossed more than 1 million views on YouTube. We have already started working with one of the largest Bible and tract distribution companies called the Gideons International to convert their literature and books into audio in various regional languages. Our work involves finding the right voiceover artist who can fluently read the desired language. That's my mom, who speaks more than 4 languages, whose help I use a lot in my projects. With my own personal worship experience, I find myself in a better position to understand the essence and emotion of the song. I'm able to create a channel through which the message of the songwriter that he wants to share can be communicated effectively. As a follower of Christ, I stand firm on the principles of integrity, and this is what I convey to my suppliers as well as my clients. If you've seen any Bollywood movie, you would know that most of them are musicals. With more than 9 to 10 songs per movie, Bollywood produces more than 1,000 big-budget films each year. That is a big portion of our target market, the other being advertising agencies that need studios for their background music, Foley requirements, and others. Our studio is based near one of the largest education hubs where students from all over the country come to study. With a population of over 1.1 million people in a small area of 132 square miles, there are nearly 200 educational facilities. There is a huge opportunity to attract business through budding artists who see a future in the music industry. We plan to promote the studio through various social events like in churches, in colleges, youth camps, Sunday schools, and music concerts. We are primarily a service-based company, including sales of a few products. Our gross profit margin of each service is calculated at around 50%. With substantial amounts of funds being invested in the marketing and promotions, we will experience a financial loss this year, but with an estimated growth, we hope to earn $1,400 in the next financial year. This is the balance sheet and profit and loss statement of our company since the past 3 years that we have been operational. As you can see, our sales have been consistent and profits have been rising. Even with an average sale of $7,000 per year, we have been able to continue operations, but without much growth for expansion. With this new marketing strategy, we hope to jump our sales so that we can concentrate our profits on expansion. The main source of our income is from music composition for artists, bands, Bollywood, advertising agencies. Other sources is through audiobooks. Although we could be making much more through audiobooks, we choose to subsidize our rates for Christian clients in order to be partakers in the sowing and the expansion of God's kingdom. Apart from these services, we also provide manufacturing of CDs, thumb drives, digital distribution, so we take care of the entire project, right from the creation of the song to the distribution. We have identified the best and most cost-effective ways, cutting through all middlemen, thereby increasing our profits. Our studio is located in Mumbai, which is the heart of Bollywood. This gives us a huge advantage to get repeat clients from big-budget film producers. We possess a large, ever-expanding network of musicians who are available to do whatever we need in the studio. Since we take care of the project from scratch to end, we have clients from different states of the country and even from the world because they don't need to come into the studio as much and spend hours and hours recording in the studio. Instead, we will do all the hard work, giving them the creative ideas, doing all the manufacturing, the artwork, etc. Our team has a good experience, which is why we are able to be a one-stop shop for all our clients. To strategically advertise and market our services to attract more business, our current financial requirement for 2018-19 reserves 72% on marketing and employee salaries. We aim to spend the rest of the money on overheads like rent, electricity, office expenses, microphones, new cables, etc. From the investment of the Asbury project, the money will go majorly into marketing, still leaving a portion of it for contingencies. At Soundle Studio, we work to display the glory and power of God through our voices. The songs created at our studio help disciple young Christians through meaningful lyrics and melody. Evangelism is a byproduct of our company's initiative. Hear this. Paul wrote letters to the churches because it was the best way to communicate during those days. Today we have multiple sources like the internet, digital books, audio recordings that can be shared across all the world. With so many restrictions various countries have placed on travel and immigration, imagine a world where we can continue ministering without crossing physical borders. We can teach, encourage love with our voices. Our mission is one, and with many voices, we hope to accomplish it. I present to you an excellent medium through which that can happen, Soundle Studios.
Say goodbye to fumbling around in endless pockets in search for your ID. Say adios to trying to guesstimate the remaining balance on your campus currency account. Say au revoir to wondering how many meal swipes you have left. HeID is here to save the day. HeID stands for Higher Education Identification. It is a developed student ID app that includes personal ID, student account information, logs available and spent resources such as meal swipes, dorm extension, campus currency, print balance, and more. Our app is going to be formatted in such a way to please college students. It will be easy to use, attractive to the eye, and a simple, enjoyable experience. We will also have an efficient and easy channel in which universities can import student information. In this day and age, we live in a tech-savvy world where we're looking for instant gratification, considering almost all students can be found on their phones at all times. Our app will contribute to having their information they need right at their fingertips. Physical student ID cards are a problem because they are easily lost and not convenient to carry around. Imagine you didn't want to put your ID in your pocket. You would have to carry a wallet or a purse with you at all times. Our app will be on your phone, easy to use and to carry around. Another problem we have is students can't access their information easily. So we'll have a feature that will allow them to access their information from anywhere, like upcoming campus events, swipes, currency, and more. More benefits to the app is that it is economically friendly by eliminating harmful materials such as plastic. It will also save the university time with no hassle of replacing, delivering, recycling the ID cards. The most unique and technical feature we are going to implement is our Scan to Pay app. This will allow a device to scan a barcode on your phone and then access that information within seconds. This will allow you to buy meals or coffee anywhere on campus without ever having to have a card with you. Our second feature we are going to implement is availability to campus currency. It will state your balance and also a summary of what you've spent throughout the semester. This will allow you to give you or your parents an idea how much to get for the next semester. Our last major feature we're going to implement is meal swipes. Students rely on meal swipes for every meal they eat on campus, so they'll never have to worry about how many meal swipes they have left, because this will keep students up to date, and then they'll prepare them for when they are running low on meal swipes.
The HeID app will launch and be directly implemented into Asbury University life. We will fine-tune and evolve the app with the feedback received from our students. We will then take the app and expand it in such a way that it will be scalable to other universities and colleges. We will provide templates and different layout forms to choose from. We will also provide packaging and features that best fit the university's needs. Our product will have already went through multiple trials and will change according to the feedback that we have received. Other universities and colleges will want to implement our app because it saves them money and time. It is economically friendly while satisfying the students' needs. It also eliminates frustrating situations that come from handling and keeping track of physical ID cards. This helps dealing with student information in an easy, convenient way. We conducted a survey asking students what they thought about our app, and here are the results. This will help us better implement the app to fit the needs of our students. We want to make sure our app is a convenience to everyone who uses it. This is another way that we can help make the app scalable in the future. In recent studies, it shows that people are happier with their job if they are able to make decisions. The jobs currently in place to make and renew the ID cards will be replaced with jobs allowing them to make decisions regarding the app, how to improve it, how to make it more scalable, etc. This will give students the opportunity to gain experience not only through IT purposes, but also with communication as they go around campus talking with other students about the app and how to improve it. Tutorials for the app will be provided as well as an online Q&A board. There will be jobs created to make sure that the app runs smoothly and that it always provides the best quality. The app will cost $55,000 to implement. This pricing includes our own icon, an appealing look and layout, the ability to connect with the university's website, student information, student email connecting to the app, and the compatibility for both Apple and Android devices. To make profit, here's an example. If we charged the students a $20 service fee per year, and there were 1,300 students, that would be a total income of $78,000. We would not only make our investment back within the first year, but we would also earn $23,000 in the first year. While HEID is an acronym for Higher Education Identification, it also serves as our company's goal to implement that He, the Lord, will be our identification. That we as individuals and as a company will view our customers and employees as dignified humans created in the image of God. Our company as a whole will tithe 10% of our profit earned after each school year. We believe giving back to God is the most important because of what He has done for us. Creating HEID will not only allow us to have something to benefit from, but it also gives us the opportunity to serve our Lord in the way of business. Thank you, and God bless.
Hello, I am Alexandria George, and I'm the CEO of Smart Student Storage. Smart Student Storage is redefining dorm room storage. Every year, millions of college students are forced to move all of their belongings out of their dorm room in May and move everything back in August. During finals week and the first week of school, this leaves college students stressed and drowning in a sea of moving supplies. Every year, students are asked to pack up all their belongings, spend hours moving, and hundreds of dollars on storage units they won't even fill. They're managing all of this during finals week when they should be studying, and during the first week of school when they should be saying goodbye to family and settling in with friends, rather than going back and forth to storage units. In addition to the added stress, financially, academically, and relationally, students end up feeling overwhelmed. When stress is overwhelming, students feel threatened and they shut down. They stop studying and they stop engaging in community because they feel defeated. In addition to the psychological effects, students' immune systems and overall health decline due to intense stress. Last year, we started with Asbury University. In the Lexington area alone, there are 5 schools that could be in need of our services, 49 in all of Kentucky. That's a total of 300,000 undergrad students. And as we expand our focus, that number increases to as high as 21 million students across the nation, 40% of which are living out of state. The process for Smart Student Storage really is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, students book online, spending about 10 minutes doing so. Second, they pack up all of their belongings, just like they would if they were to do it on their own. And third, this is the easiest, we pick it up, we store it all summer, and we bring it back to them in August. Smart Student Storage doesn't have any direct competition. Currently, the only option for students is to do it on their own. Last year, we surveyed some students and found that most students spend close to $250 on storage units and 7 hours of their time going back and forth to the unit. That doesn't even include moving it back. With so many logistical details, students end up with wasted time and money. One student, Jenna, said that last year I spent $150 more than I needed to on a storage unit that was too big. I didn't use all the space I paid for, and the hassle of it was very stressful. 70% of students say they have the same experience. So how does Smart Student Storage compete? Well, students like Jenna would have spent about $100 on our services, 10 minutes online booking the storage, and an hour and a half of their time packing their belongings, just like they would if they were to do it on their own. Students' stress levels decreased dramatically, allowing them to focus on finals and study for their exams. With students like Jenna, we aggregate the moving and storage expenses. She would have purchased our smallest package, the small load, and aggregating these expenses allows us to store about 18 students in one unit with just a few hours of moving. These aggregated expenses also allow us to offer affordable solutions to the student while still making a profit for ourselves. So what does our profit margin look like? Well, with Jenna, she would have purchased a small load, and so we would have had about $38 in profit off of that sale. We estimate most students will use the slightly more package, giving us $58, and when we have 1,000 students, we'll have made $58,000. This allows us to be the best solution. As we had continued to expand, in our first year, we were profitable in our operations, and that allowed us to continue to move on to the next year. Given that, our initial startup was about $2,700, and the prize money that we have remaining from business plan competitions won across the country will continue to help us expand into our next phase. Our customer acquisition strategy is quite simple. We partner with the student development teams at the universities we target in order to gain their trust and recommendation to the students. In addition to that, we target social media advertisements to college students fitting the profile of a student in need of storage solutions. Smart Student Storage isn't just an idea. At this point, our story can be broken into 3 parts. In the first part, we developed our business model. In the second part, we launched our first year of business, experimenting with our university, Asbury. And now in the third phase, we can say that we're expanding into 2 new universities this coming summer. So in our first year, we targeted Asbury University. Our university offers the perfect market for this business because it is primarily residential, with 48% of its students being from off campus and out of state. This past summer, students at Asbury used our services, and as a company, we learned a lot. First, we learned that our website was effective in helping students book storage online. We also learned that we need to enhance our website in order to include better data analytics software. In addition to that, we learned that we need to better communicate with the students to explain their responsibilities during the process of using Smart Student Storage. Last year, we ran into one problem where students were overpacking their boxes and they were poorly securing them. Some boxes were too heavy and others popped open in transit. Smart Student Storage is overcoming this by including packing tutorials on our website and written instruction in our confirmation emails sent to students prior to move-out day. This allows us to address our problems and continue to move forward and grow our business. Next summer, we will target 2 new universities, Center College and Transylvania College. With campus representatives at both of these schools, we'll be able to effectively recruit students to use our services there. These are excellent next steps for our company because they're primarily residential, just like Asbury, and they have a lot of students from out of state, just like Asbury. Our team will make our expansion possible by bringing complementary value. I, being a college student, understand the stress and need for affordable solutions during move-out day. Kimberly brings 15 years of marketing experience, and together we can effectively communicate with college students. Ted Alling brings 15 years of mentoring startup businesses as well. In addition to our financial goals, our business measures our success by healing 3 relationships. With student selves by taking the financial burden away and the stress burden away, with God by donating 7% of our top-line revenue, and with others by taking the responsibility off the parents' hands and putting it into the students, allowing them to take ownership. One student last year said that by finding and coordinating my storage of my belongings, I am in charge of my things and I don't have to rely on my parents. This is the result of Smart Student Storage. Soon, every student at the schools we partner with will have the same experience and know to be smart and use Smart Student Storage. Thank you.
Are y'all ready? I'm ready to build you a custom tree house that's going to change your life. And how's it going to change your life? It's going to provide you a place of peace, make you a lot of money. I'm William O'Neill. My partner's Josh Moon, and we're Over the Top Cabins. We've almost finished our first tree house for our first clients. And over the next 3 years, they're going to net $30,000. We're a top-to-bottom company that deals with all aspects of assisting a landowner take their undeveloped property and turning it into a lucrative investment. We do this providing tree houses at affordable cost. Due to our high-paced culture, people are stressed, they're overworked, they're distracted, and they're unable to connect relationally with friends and family. They need to get back to nature. We work with landowners to produce these places by building customized cabins. I have 7 years of experience in construction and 10 years in carpentry, and I'll be the construction manager. Josh will use his marketing skills to help landowners advertise so that they have consistent renters throughout the year. And Dr. Moon will be an advisor so that for our designs and engineering. And the best part of this team is Dr. Moon has been my mentor for the last 4 years, and I've mentored Josh just the same for the last 4. See, OTTC clients get to choose layout, the style of wood they want, and where to place the cabin on their property. But they're not the only ones who benefit, but also the community as well by creating these custom cabins. See, the cabins address the growing vacation travel demand in the building community we support by utilizing local businesses for the majority of our supplies. See, the cabins are small, and so most people can afford the initial investment, but it has a significant return, and also a personal place for refreshment and retreat. For example, Elevate Cabins, LLC contracted with OTTC to design, construct, and advertise one cabin that is forecasted to net $26,000, $52,000, and $76,000 years 1, 2, and 3. That's an ROI of 58% after 3 years. And the cabin is paid off and profiting after only 2 years. We've already had 3 landowners approach us as we've been building at Red River Gorge wanting to build on their properties. And 3, and now just 4 an hour ago, of people who've contacted us through seeing our cabins on social media, wanting us to build for them. See, OTTC begins with the client meeting with our design manager, Dr. Jay Moon, who's a licensed professional engineer. This allows the customer to fully envision their perfect dream cabin as he creates custom plans just to them. That means, ladies, hot showers, toilet. We're not roughing it here. This is glamping. And you get structural integrity as well. Next, I take the paper plans and I make them a reality. I work with the client so that they know everything's running smoothly and as they anticipated. Now, lastly, Josh, our marketing manager, will create a website for the client and social media accounts to ensure immediate rentals once the cabin is developed. And what he'll do as the cabin's being built, he'll create a story so people are able to see and get involved and want to stay at this place and connect the clients with Airbnb and use his SEO skills so that people can find the cabin easily and also stumble upon it. Landowners, they're attracted to OTTC because the vacation rental industry has exploded. The market has rapidly evolved as disruptive new entrants such as Airbnb have shifted the vacation rental industry or technology, raising the consumer expectations. In particular, cottage industries have gone through the roof. The industry is worth $100 billion, and the U.S. is over a quarter of that. And in the next 2 years, it's predicted to go to $170 billion. The market research analysts forecast the global vacation rental market to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 7.07% from 2017 to 21. And our research shows that our market group is typically ages 18 through 44. Now, the Red River Gorge is a perfect example of this explosion. According to Red River Gorge's property manager, all their cabins, we found this out this summer, are already rented out for this entire year, and they're already booking for next summer. Now, we have 2 main competitors, Canopy Crew and Amish cabin builders. Both of them are already building in Red River Gorge as well, but they're very limited on where they can build and what they can build because of their style. Also, our company provides much more in design options, location possibilities, and we do one thing they don't, which is advertising. We don't just build for our clients, we get clients for our clients. Now, we're seeking an initial grant of $3,570, which covers supplies that allow us to design, construct, and advertise well. We want Josh to be able to build a website to market not just for our clients, but us as well. Tools to build the tree house, and a drone to help in advertising. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." This is so relevant in our fast-paced culture. And OTTC is seeking to partner with landowners to create such places like we already have in Red River Gorge, where people can come to a place and hear from God. Now, profitability on OTTC. Each house we net $15,000, and assuming we can do 4 per year, which we can easily do at our pace we're doing, the total net in 3 years is over $187,000, an ROI of over 5,000%. Come on now. Another important kingdom impact of OTTC, our crew is Christians. We've already been sharing the gospel with those in the community, praying for those with emotional and physical hurts, and it's showing in that community. See, this is how our tree houses can change your life. Don't miss it, and come talk to me about how to invest. Thank you so much.
Hello, we are Makeaway Global. My name is Caitlin Conyers.
And I am Alejandra Diaz, and we are from Asbury University.
So imagine this. You are a student at Asbury University. The reason that you chose Asbury as your college experience was because, along with giving you a great education, you also hoped that Asbury would provide you with the opportunity to go on global mission trips and also to grow closer to God. One day, you are walking around campus when you feel a specific call to go on a mission trip overseas. So you decide to go and talk to those in charge of this trip. Once you talk to those in charge of the trip and they explain everything that you have the opportunity to do, then you just are talking to them, and you have another question in your mind. What is this? How much is this going to cost? Right? Well, short-term mission trips can cost anywhere from $1,400 to $4,000 and maybe even more. Students can get really nervous about this, and it can be intimidating to think about. That's why Makeaway Global exists. Makeaway Global is a nonprofit organization that runs campus events to help students fundraise for mission trips. We want to help students surpass their fears and conquer their calling. Makeaway Global it also creates a fun way to show students that their calling matters. We do this by running campus events that we plan and execute. We also want to encourage students to take a step further in the purpose and journey that God has created for them. We additionally provide ways for students to further fundraise after the event is over. An example of this is this chart that we helped Brianna Boggs with, and it's a chart that goes from 1 to 50, and then you pray and ask for people to support you financially. This is Brianna Boggs, and we helped her and the Irapuato mission team raise funds for their trip that will happen in December.
The benefits that our company offers to those we serve are: we advertise, we take the pressure of planning the events of them. We create a way to raise money, and we make fundraise not as scary as they think.
We want to make our events efficient and convenient for our customers. We do this by helping students fundraise through established and structured events. We also do this by encouraging students to take a step further into the journey and the purpose that God has called them into. We provide events that we already made, and we also offer packaged events that students can choose to do with us. This offers structured funding that's dependable. In conjunction with this, we offer our experience as a buffer to the events. You can think of this as event insurance.
Even though we're in the early development stage of our company, the value of our service that we offer are, we enhance bravery, the customers will have a unique experience, and we support those raising support.
We want those we serve to know that their time and money matters. This is why Makeaway Global wants to fund the events that we run for students. We also want to do this so we can ethically make a profit and cover administrative costs. We provide students that their time matters also. This is why we create a way for our students to raise a chunk of funding in one day rather than over weeks and months.
Our target market is Asbury community and, well, community members also, and we are looking for individuals and teams to serve. These individuals will bring people that they know to our events. We will attract that people by making flyers and posting on social media, and we will hand out personal invitations to people that have need advice like this.
Our initial market size is 1,800 people, and that includes Asbury students and faculty. Once we are successful in this market, we will expand to churches and missionaries off campus. We will additionally serve faith-affiliated nonprofits.
We will raise money through charging an entry fee to our events, and we will have a donation box that will go directly to teams.
Our different events will cost different amounts. They will also raise different amounts of revenue. This is an example of that. We asked students on campus through a survey how much they would be willing to pay for our events. They said that they would be willing to pay $5 to $10, especially if they could make prize money out of the event. We will start simple, and then we will make our events more detailed.
Makeaway Global events are unique because they require active participation rather than passive listening. Also, they are unique because we accept debit payments, debit cards, cash, and checks. We will use Square by accepting these debit payments.
Some resources that we need for success include event materials, just funding, food, decorations, and advertising costs, and then those methods of receiving payment.
We're asking for $2,000, and we are planning to invest this money in advertising costs, event materials, creating event packages, and methods of receiving payment.
So we want to create a way for students to go global and go on mission trips, especially when they feel the calling to do that. We hope that the Lord will work in and through our business just to help students find that calling. And we also hope that He will work in their hearts just to create a desire for them to go on global mission trips and maybe even go longer term later in life. We hope to provide students with the wisdom that when God calls us to do something, He will provide. In Romans 12:6-8, Paul says that in His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. These include prophecy, teaching, encouraging, serving, being kind, and giving. So we want the students we serve to be able to use their gifts to serve other people, and we also want to serve them and use our gifts to encourage them also. We will do this gladly.
Makeaway Global, supporting those raising support. Thank you.
That is our last pitch for today. So you want to take your ballot, fill that out. Be sure to drop it off in the box by the doors on your way out. We are going to head off to dinner now, which is over at the CAF on Asbury University's campus. And thank you very much for coming and being an outstanding audience this year. Our winners and our checks will be given out at dinner time, and we'll see you there in just a few minutes.